AITA for not making my daughter switch back a gifted Labubu with her younger cousin, after her uncle found out the one my daughter gained in the swap is rare with a high resale value. Throwaway because family is on Reddit. This happened over Christmas, and it's turning into a whole family drama. My daughter Sophia, 12, and her cousin Martina, 6, daughter of my sister Maria and her husband Jose, were gifted blind box Labubus as part of their Christmas gift from my other sister Sarah. They each opened their boxes. Martina got a brown one and Sophia got a pink one. Martina immediately wanted the pink one, and Sophia immediately offered a trade because she already has the pink one and was hopping for the brown one. They traded, both girls were happy, and that was that, or so I thought. Later, Martina's parents found out from taking to someone that the brown Labubu is apparently a rare, secret version that can sell for $250 plus. Once they learned that, they called me, said the girls needed to switch back, and that Sophia was to return the brown one immediately. They even wanted me to drive over with it then, and they're despite the fact they live an hour away, and it was already 8 p.m. I asked if Martina actually wanted the brown one back. They said that wasn't the point. After some pushing back, Jose admitted someone was willing to pay him $225 for the brown one and give Martina the pink one she wants. I said I wouldn't force Sophia to swap back, from my perspective. Both kids were happy with the trade and got the Labubu they wanted. Sophia didn't pressure or manipulate Martina into switching. If she had, I would have stepped in immediately and told her, "You get what you get and you don't get upset." When I asked her, Sophia admitted she knew the brown one was rare, but when I asked how much they sell for, she said they are blind boxes, so you can't buy the brown, they just make less of them. She didn't know it was worth money. She's not a good liar, and she appeared to be telling the truth. Martina originally didn't want the brown one, and basically got upset when she saw Sophia got pink. It feels like Maria and Jose only want the brown one back because they can sell it and pocket money from it. Now they're upset with me and saying I'm being unfair and taking advantage of a 6-year-old. And Jose even called Sophia a manipulative B***H, which I think is a reach when Sophia didn't know it was worth a lot of money. She just knew they were rare to pull, that she already had the pink and Martina was crying for the pink one. Sarah has said this is stupid parent drama, and she's staying out of it and said we can sort it out ourselves. So AITA for refusing to make my daughter give the brown Labubu back. Edit, Jose called Sophia a manipulative B***H to me on the phone discussing it, not to Sophia's face. He'd be a dead man walking if he said it to her. It was said about an hour before making the post, and I hung up on him for it and has not yet been addressed. My wife and I will obviously be addressing it. I was still processing it when I made the post, but the manipulative part made me wonder if I was being unreasonable, hence making the post. Edit 2, since I can't reply now. Sophia is trying to collect the whole set of these Labubus, and her motivation for wanting the brown was to help complete the set. She has no intention of selling or trading it. After talking about it with her again, she took rare to mean it was simply harder to find in the boxes. She doesn't engage in buying reselling. AFAIK Jose and Maria are not in desperate need of the cash. They're not rich, sure, but to the best of my knowledge, not in the kind of financial situation where the only way to keep the lights on for the next quarter is to sell their child's gift. We are in Australia, so this is in AUD. WBTA if I deny my newfound half-sister, on my father's side, access to my mother. This is a bit complicated. Please bear with me. Recently a girl, 23F, reached out to me, 25F, via Facebook explaining that she is my half-sister, conceived by my father and another woman. She explained that her mother recently came clean to her regarding her father, that she, 23F, was the result of a ONS with a guy she met during a work trip, before she was told that she was the bio kid of her stepfather. She didn't find our father online as he doesn't have succumbed, but found me thanks to our very uncommon surname. How her mother knows our surname, but doesn't have any other contact information. Ike. 23F told me her mother was very cagey about everything. After a bunch of messaging, we set up a video call to talk, and 23F explained she was very excited to connect with her real family and yada yada. But not just with my father's side, also with my mother's. As you can guess from our ages, my father cheated on my mom with 23F's mother. No surprise there, as he had tons of affairs during the marriage, which is why they divorced almost 2 decades ago. I'm also not surprised that 23F exists, as my father told me himself years ago when I was grilling him about the cheating that he most likely has a bunch of affair kids out there, because that's just how men are. I was open with her and told her that I am NC with my paternal family, because not only did they condone the cheating and blamed my mom for it, they are also just toxic in general. There is a lot to say about my paternal family, but to keep it concise, I told her I could give her their contact info, but that she should keep her expectations low because they are all pretty terrible people, and she won't be seen as a long-lost daughter coming home. But me saying that led to her asking about my maternal family, to which I told her that they are amazing people and that my mother is great. She then got excited and said she can't wait to connect with my mom, and I'm stumped as to why I would let her do that. She is not related to my mom, and my parents divorced long ago. My mom has also since remarried. Also, the timing of 23F's conception coincides with the time when my mom miscarried my younger brother, something that obviously hurt her a lot. Knowing that on top of that pain my father was cheating on her during that time is another can of worms. I told 23F I would ask my mom if she's okay with connecting with her, but I don't think I should even bring this up to her. All of this just seems so weird to me, and I don't even know if 23F is a good person, or if she has some sort of ulterior motive for wanting to know my mom. 23F couldn't even give me a good reason as to why she would want that, just that my mom is my family and thus also hers, 23F's. I'm leaning towards not mentioning this to my mom and giving 23F my dad's info, but my best friend said I'm an asshole for keeping my mom to myself, and that I shouldn't make this decision for my mom. WBTA if I don't mention anything to my mom. AITA for sleeping naked in my own room. Throwaway account cause I don't want my roommate to see this. Since I was a teenager, I've always slept naked. I always get too hot at night, and it's just generally way more comfortable for me to sleep that way. Whenever I leave my room, I'm always dressed, or at the very least have shorts or something on if I'm going to from the shower. My roommate knows this, and up to this point has had no problem with it, and we always knock on each other's doors anyway to be polite. The issue started when he brought over his girlfriend to stay a couple nights. We all get along pretty well and have all hung out a few times before, but this was the first time she had come over and spent the night. We had all gone out drinking and got home pretty late, so once we all walked in, we just went straight to sleep. I, of course, went to bed with my usual routine of getting naked and hopping in bed. Well, sometime during the night, my roommate's girlfriend needed to use the bathroom, but she didn't know which room it was. My room and the bathroom are right next to each other, and she opened my door by mistake. I have a vague memory of her opening my door, but I was half asleep, and when she closed it, I went right back to sleep. The next morning I woke up, and my roommate and his girlfriend were upset with me, because when she walked in she saw everything, and she was mad I would sleep naked when a guest was over in the first place. They both said I need to start wearing clothes to sleep since my roommate's girlfriend is gonna probably be sleeping over more often, and it makes her uncomfortable. My argument was that I'm in my own private space away from them, and that while I understand it was a mistake, it's still her fault that she walked in on me sleeping. It's been a few days and my roommate still won't let it go. I still sleep naked, and now once on purpose he's walked in on me sleeping just to see if I was naked or not. I don't really care about him seeing me naked cause we've seen each other naked before, but this is getting really out of hand. I don't think I should have to wear clothes to sleep just because it makes his girlfriend uncomfortable even though I'm in my own private room. TL, Doctor, my roommate's girlfriend walked in on me sleeping naked in my own room, and now they both want me to start wearing clothes to sleep. Edit, to everyone saying I should lock my door or add a lock, I would really like to. Unfortunately, the place we're staying at doesn't want us to change the door handles or anything, so I can't do that. However, I am currently looking into ways to stop my door from opening that isn't like a barricade or that drills into the door wall. Update. Wow, really didn't expect this to blow up like this, but thank you all for the feedback. A lot of you recommended a door stopper cause they're super cheap and easy to use, and that's what I've ended up going with, so thank you all who recommended them to me. Okay, so I've had a talk with my roommate and brought up some of the points y'all made. For starters, I brought up how it's hypocritical to ask me to not sleep naked since they are most definitely naked when they're having sex in the same home as me, and he said that was different since they're not sleeping that way and usually hang something on the door handle. I also brought up the point that now she knows which door leads to the bathroom, so it shouldn't happen again whenever she spends the night, and he said that it still makes her uncomfortable. I guess she thinks I'm just gonna come out of my room at night swinging my junk around. I suggested that he only spends the night at her place if it makes her so uncomfortable, but he literally just said it was easier for them to sleep here instead. No idea how that could be if I make her so uncomfortable. So in the end, I basically said I'm still gonna sleep naked. I'm putting a doorstop in my room to make sure it doesn't happen again, and if they're still not satisfied, then they're just gonna have to deal with it. I think he's gonna give up on it, talk to his girlfriend, and we're gonna go back to normal. I didn't really talk about him walking in cause again. I don't really care if I'm seen naked. I know that's kinda rare, but I'm super comfortable in my own skin, and it's really his fault if he doesn't want to see me naked and walks in on me sleeping. I'll continue to update as this goes on. Side note, to the people saying his girlfriend wants me or something, I'm rocking an average 5.5 inches, so I'm not all that impressive. Not only that, I'm pretty sure I wasn't hard and I'm a grower, so it was even less impressive. Thank you all for thinking I was packing though. AITA for leaving my mom at the airport with no ticket and no plan. This still weighs on me. Some background, my mom was abusive growing up. It got bad enough that at 12 I left home through the courts and moved in with my dad. That decision fractured our family. On the court paperwork under name of child, she wrote something like, "I have no son." I've carried that with me ever since. I had little contact with her after that. Briefly at 17, again in my early 20s, and not consistently until much later. I'm now almost 40. I spent over 20 years drinking heavily and finally got sober in 2018, which is when I made an effort to reconnect with my family, including my mom. She's closer to 70 now and has zero contact with 2 of her 3 kids. Reconnecting wasn't easy. When I asked if she ever reflected on the abuse, she told me I was an adult and needed to let it go already. That was a turning point. I realized any forgiveness would be one-sided. If I wanted peace, it was on me. Since then, our relationship has been rocky but present. We've had family reunions and even traveled overseas together for 3 weeks. We argue often, usually over small things, but we stayed in contact until this. Last summer, I invited her to my city to see a band she's loved since I was young. The plan was simple. She'd arrive on Wednesday, we'd go to the concert on Thursday, she'd fly out to visit my sisters on Friday, and I'd leave early Saturday for my own trip. She agreed. When she arrived, she mentioned she'd only bought a one-way ticket and would book the Friday flight later. That made me uneasy, and I reminded her several times to make sure it was booked. I thought I was clear in my wording and tone that I didn't want anyone staying in my house while I was gone. Friday came. The concert was fine. Then she told me she still hadn't bought a plane ticket, and now, with prices having gone up, she planned to stay a few extra days while I was away. I told her plainly, "I'm leaving at 5 a.m. tomorrow. You need to get on that plane." I even offered to cover the extra cost. She refused and invited herself to stay at my place. That's when I said clearly that I wasn't comfortable with anyone staying in my home while I wasn't there. She accused me of not trusting her and said she was my mother. I said it wasn't about trust, I just didn't want anyone in my house. The argument escalated. Finally, she said, "Fine, take me to the airport." I think she expected me to cave. I didn't. I packed the car, grabbed my daughter, and drove her to the airport in silence. When we arrived, it felt like a standoff, like she was waiting for me to say, "Never mind, don't go." I didn't. I took her bag out, set it on the curb, and told her, "If you can't find a ticket, let me know. I can help you pay for a hotel." Then I left. Months later, I'm still thinking about it. I don't think I stranded my mom with no options. I offered to cover the cost of the flight and